Oh, I hope I need a charger. Golly.
Well, go ahead and do that. I can edit this part out. Do you need a charger right now?
No, we'll make it through.
Okay. Well, let me I have no idea how to stop and record again, so we're just going to keep going. Okay. Hey
Okay.
there. I am Laura Johnson with Shock and Awe podcast, and I have Sade here, and I'm just wanting to ask you some questions. You good with that?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, hey, I would love to know about a little bit how long you've been in real estate and kind of what your current, I guess, stance is, like what you've got going on over there. And then we'll kind of deep dive into some other areas.
Yes. So, Laura, I've been into real estate for the past 3 years. So I've been learning, feeding myself knowledge, but I've done about 3 fix and flips. And on top of that, I've invested in midterm rentals. So that's it, right? As far as right now. But the next thing will be buy and holds. Real estate is it's a plethora of options. So buy and hold will be the next thing for pad splits, veterans homes, etc.
Okay. Who do you think is who's renting your midterm rentals? Like, who's the audience who you're going after for that?
I've seen the last year and a half that I typically have guests that are relocating to Florida, or guests that they're digital nomads. They work from home. I've had guests that do work for WWE, and they do editing. So you just find out these different things that people do on a day-to-day basis, and they travel while doing it. I don't get much travel nurses, and that may be due to the my monthly rate, but
Mm-hmm.
yep. Hmm. So yeah,
So,
relocators, travel professionals.
are you
Hmm.
listing, are you mainly going through like Airbnb for those or just Furnish Finder? What areas are you doing that, marketing them?
I would say 90% of my guests find me on furnishfinder.com. And the other 5%, I would say, would be between Airbnb and VRBO, and the other 5% from direct bookings from my website.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing like a bunch of rapid questions. I'm very intrigued with midterm rentals. I
Yeah.
I'm curious about what you think is the length of stay that people normally, is it like 30, 60, 90? Like, do you have a lot of repeats?
On average, I would say about 80 days. It's definitely more than 30 days. Um, and even if they book for 60 days, they're like 90% of the time needing to extend. So I would definitely say between 70 to 80 days on average that my guests stay at each property. Hmm. I actually
Okay.
have a guest now that's staying in a property for a year plus. She's
Wow.
relocated here. Yeah. And she's just like, oh, I'm fine. That's an Airbnb booking. So it's directly, via Airbnb, and it's deposited monthly. But yeah, she's wanting to stay actually 3 years, but the Airbnb booking is for a year as of now.
That is
She's a
awesome.
relocator.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Um, there was
Mhm.
one other question I was thinking about that before we go off. I go, we're not going to spend all the time talking about midterm rentals, but I'm like, I have her here. I have to take advantage of this. Um, how do you
Right.
schedule your Airbnb calendar? to accommodate like for future, if you're going to extend, like offer, like how are you
Right.
structuring that? The booking settings?
Well, I know a lot of people that are in the MTR space, they use Hostly and other sites that kind of manage their bookings. I do it, all by hand, I guess you can say. I do have 4 midterm rentals, and it's worked this way. I don't have a 9 to 5, so I have time, and I'm not a contractor, so I'm not at my fix and flip every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I typically, since most of my bookings are from Furnish Finder, I do keep my calendar open all throughout the year, and that's just for statistical purposes. It helps me to know, what avenues and what areas I need to grow my midterm rental business. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of done on, paper right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, that
Yep.
actually is pretty inspiring to me because when you are a person who loves to consume content, you know, through
Mhm.
podcasts, YouTube, all that stuff, and then you're hearing about all these amazing software products that can do it for you, it is so paralyzing sometimes to like
Yeah,
just have it be so simple. I remember when I was trying to start my tiny house and getting it on Airbnb for the first time. I couldn't even get it on Airbnb because I was thinking, okay, I just need to go straight to a software that will manage it and all that stuff. And I'm like, and people were just basically telling me, you are overthinking this way too
right.
much. You
Yeah,
just need to get an Excel sheet and literally just sync your calendars together
mhm,
and you're fine. Like for one rental, I'm like freaking out. Like, how can I do this the most professional, best way? And it really doesn't, I'm not at the point where I mean, you have 4 and you're fine.
right.
So,
Yeah, I pretty much, set alarms. That's my like go-to. So I have probably 30 alarm clocks set in my phone. But if someone's
wow.
checking out, I'll set an alarm. This is Mr. Such and Such check out, September
Yeah.
2nd. And I'll give myself, a few days to check in to see how they're doing. If they need to extend, I typically try to do that maybe 2 to 3 weeks beforehand, because normally, as far as the booking rate goes, I haven't had a whole 30 days where my properties haven't been booked. Um, so it still seems to work out, just, even if they need to extend within 2 weeks of them checking out,
Mm-hmm.
it still works, because people, those last minute ones, they'll need a place to stay. And if I'm available, I'm like, oh, here you go. And, we do the whole
Yeah, that's
process, background check, credit check, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. You might not have a typical 9 to 5, but you definitely have a job, like for
Right.
sure.
Right.
It is full time managing all that. I can get a little like, oh my gosh, with just one, and like I would need to have some better
Yeah.
systems in place. One
Yeah.
thing
And I
I
wouldn't
wanted
say it's full time. I was going to say, Laura, I wouldn't say it's full time, because, like I said, they're staying 70 to 80 days. So even with the 4, I
Oh,
guess you
that's
would
right.
say
That
every 30 days, if they're staying almost 3 months, and maybe every 30 days you're having to inquire
turnover.
about something, or they may you. But no, it's not. It's not like, Airbnb every 3 4 days.
Yeah, I think that's where I need to be making my way to. I am so
Yeah.
intrigued with the strategy of having a midterm rental set up for insurance claims,
Right.
being
Yep.
where I'm very intrigued with that. I do want to do buy and hold, but at the same time of maybe mixing those two strategies together. And but I'm definitely not there yet. So that's research research opportunity.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say is, start at that research phase, get in contact with those insurance companies and, kind of find out what the need is for your area.
Yeah. I mean, I need to do that. I did want to talk to you briefly about your fix and flips, and really, I guess the way we don't have a lot of time to go into a bunch of that stuff. It's more of maybe distress tolerance is what I'm going to ask you about, because I've done a couple renovations just at my primary residence. And even just that alone is like, whoa, nothing ever goes right. And then you also have, family life coming over here. And even if it was like you don't have a family, even just life, you still have life going on. And one thing I've just like the words like distress tolerance have been coming up a lot in these past weeks, especially because it's big, a lot going on over at my place as well. Like, how are you handling distress tolerance with all the little things that you've got going on?
Well, one thing I would say, I go to yoga class at least 2 times a week. So that helps me as far as managing stress mentally and physically and spiritually. So that's one thing. And then I just take it day by day. And if it's something that I need help or assistance with, I reach out to people. Being that I am a part of Sub2, that's a large community. So yeah, have that helping hand whenever you need it there. So you have someone to lean on.
Yeah, well, and they're very well versed in things going wrong and things coming up and having to navigate creative ways to get through the issue, right? So they understand.
Yep.
Your close friends and family might not fully understand the level of the crisis.
Not at all. Yeah. Unless they're, in this line of business. But yeah. No, that's so yeah.
You've mentioned, health is a big passion point for you, and we have like 5 more minutes to wrap up. And so I definitely wanted to talk about that because, I mean, if it's something that is kind of tied to your core, and that's kind of what I feel like it is with you, since you've kind of mentioned that, and working with like oils and like I have a diffuser, and sometimes just the act of putting the oils in the diffuser already helps, kind of just chill a little bit, reset. What do you like to do in terms of, what you got going on over there with the health area?
Yeah. I know some of them, they're like in the back here, but yeah, so I am a doTERRA wellness advocate. So they have, some of the best oils, and it's been, scientifically proven. But yeah, so I incorporate, essential oils every day. I am a licensed massage therapist, lymphatic drainage therapist, and Reiki practitioner. So it's just a part of my life. It's been about almost 20 years since I decided that I, wanted to be a massage therapist, although it has taken a little back seat because real estate has my attention. I do have a massage business where we cater to hospice patients. So, yeah, we contract with hospice companies and we provide massage therapy for pain management for their patients and great essential oils with that too. So,
I can imagine that's a really fulfilling. I would think that's pretty fulfilling, handling that line of work. It takes special people to do that, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is true, Laura.
Yes, like how gosh, that is hard, but so vitally important, for those patients.
It is,
Oh,
and they love it. So
I'm sure they do. Does your
yeah,
son
they do.
like? Does he get on board with the oils?
He does. Um, he does. So I'll use, like, we have an oil called Serenity. I'll use a
Mhm.
little of that or put in his diffuser. Peppermint, like in the winter times, and
Mm.
sometimes he'll remind me, like, "Mom, where's the oil?" So I'm like, "Okay, yeah,
See,
before you
you
go to
raised him
bed." But
right.
right, yep, yep. So you just have those other things to turn to in nature. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. Well,
mm-hmm.
listen, our time is coming up to a close, and I'm sorry we got kind of off a wrong foot. But for my first interview on a video, I really appreciate you and your patience with me.
Yeah,
Um,
thank
we could probably have 1,000 side discussions and so many different topics, but I would
you.
really
That's
like
true.
to know where you can tell people how to connect with you and kind of what you're interested in talking to other people about.
Yeah. Um, People, they can reach me at Sade's Way of Life. That's on Instagram and YouTube. And it's on the screen here. So yeah, Sade's Way of Life. And right now I'm in a space where I'm adding more people to my Rolodex as far as private money lending, private money partners, JVing with people, because I see with this third flip that, I probably need a partner on some
Mhm.
deals together. So I'm
Yeah,
open to that. I'm open to answering questions in regards to midterm rentals. And yeah, just, on my YouTube channel, goal is to talk about, lifestyle, being a mother, a wife, and, real estate, entrepreneurship, a little of everything, but, just life in general, the day to days.
perfect. Well, I'm going to go follow you because I haven't done that yet. And I'm looking forward to seeing the content that you put out
Yes.
and continuing to keep in contact with you for sure.
Oh yeah, we will do that.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
I'm going to
Thank you.
get off of here, and everybody needs to go follow her for sure. All right.
Yeah, I
I'll
would
talk to you
appreciate it.
soon.
Okay,
Okay.
take care. Look around.
All right. Bye.
Bye.